The crash is not over. Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here. And in today's video, I'm going to explain to you why this correction on Bitcoin is likely not concluded just yet. You see, a plethora of different factors, such as the current crash with seemingly no end in sight on the United States stock market, the uncertainty around whether the United States is actually going to adopt Bitcoin and start buying it at the federal level, and all of the overall market uncertainty around tariffs and the trade wars that are kicking off right now is leading Bitcoin and global markets into a major correction. Bitcoin's not done with this drop yet, but it will be soon. Today, I'm going to show you where the bottom is, what the next phase of this bull market is going to look like, why the bull market is not over, and this is not the beginning of the bear market, and most importantly, what we ought to be doing right now to maximize our investment returns. Without much further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. It all starts with Trump. This guy. You see, when Donald Trump got elected, he had a campaign promise that he was going to tariff the living hell out of everybody, starting basically a global trade war and try to eradicate U.S. income tax on American citizens by instead raising governmental revenue from the external revenue service that he promised to create. We knew as soon as he started talking that way that that was going to lead to a massive crash on U.S. stocks, because there is nothing that drives FUD in the U.S. stock market more than a global trade war. Now, we can sit here and argue all day long about whether or not these tariffs are going to be good for the United States in the long run. That's not the point. The point is they have sent the United States stock market into one of the largest corrections that we've seen since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, way the heck back over here in 2020. That's right. In less than a month, the United States S&P 500 has dropped 10%, and it's still going with no obvious bottom in sight. This in turn has led Bitcoin into a major capitulation, and this is part of the reason why this very powerful bullish RSI divergence that we've talked about recently is probably not going to be strong enough to hold the Bitcoin market up. Instead, Bitcoin's probably going to drop down into this box of support over the next couple of weeks as a result of the geopolitical, macroeconomic, global FUD going on surrounding these new trade and tariff decisions. In other words, the stock market's crashing because Trump increased tariffs and now Bitcoin has to pay the price. The good news, however, is that Bitcoin has already dropped by 30%. Bitcoin typically only drops 40% at most during a bull market, and there's no current explanation for why Bitcoin would be going into a bear market right now. The fundamentals on the horizon 2, 4, 6 months from now are extremely bullish. Furthermore, we've got a litany of levels of support below us. For one, we've got the visible range volume profile point of control sitting right here at $67,000, which acts as a very powerful floor for Bitcoin. We've got a very long-term uptrending level of support that has underpinned the Bitcoin market thus far, and that currently gives us support right here around $64,000 to $67,000. On the weekly chart, we've got the 50 weekly simple moving average coming in to give us support right here at $75,000, and on the monthly chart, we've got the 20 monthly exponential moving average giving us support at 67 grand. So if we turn all of our indicators back on, we can see that all those levels of support give us a box of support roughly right here between 65 at the absolute low and about 75 where our current bottom is as a level of support. I expect that we're going to find a bottom in that zone between 67 and 75 within just the next couple of weeks, maybe the next month to 6 weeks at most. With how massively quickly the United States stock market is crashing, it's likely that we're going to see a bottom at some point in the next few weeks as well, which means that a bullish reversal on stocks will come in perfect time for Bitcoin to have a bullish reversal also, probably sometime toward mid to end of April 2025. Here's the thing you gotta keep in mind. These tariffs are a big deal, but they're not such a big deal that they're gonna absolutely send the United States economy into a tailspin, into a depression kind of event. This is a medium-sized warning. This is not COVID level. This is not 2008 financial crisis level. This is not September 11th level. This also, however, is not just a run-of-the-mill, where you're going to forget about it in 2 days from now kind of news story. This is kind of right down the middle. This is the kind of news that you would expect to drop the market 5 to 20%, but this is probably not the level of catastrophic news, these tariffs, that would probably crash the market. I'm talking about the United States stock market 30 or 35% like we saw at the beginning of COVID and during 2008. This is not necessarily big enough to trigger a full-blown recession, but it's definitely big enough to cause the market to stumble for a couple of months, and we're in the middle of that right now. The good news is, if that's the case, the market's probably going to bottom at some point in just the next 4 to 6 weeks and start maybe slowly, but gradually moving back up towards all-time high as people digest the fact that these tariffs are now here and they accept them as a new part of the way of life. That being said, though, and to the point of this video, that does mean that the bottom is most likely not in. It is very unlikely at this point that the bottom for Bitcoin is in at $76,000. We're probably going to be dropping down to at least $73,800, if not a little bit lower, as we continue to fill in this gap right here in the visible range volume profile between 74 and 91 that we've been eyeing for the last 4 months here on the channel. Bitcoin needs to spend time down here, and a plethora plethora of market factors are demanding that Bitcoin spend time down here right now, which is good for the long-term health of this space. I project that towards the end of April, maybe on into May, we're going to see a bottom and a bounce on Bitcoin that will lead us into an uptrend where we will probably go back towards $100,000 to $109,000, probably in that June to July kind of territory. That looks something like this. Bitcoin's probably going to fall down here, bounce around in May, and then off towards June and July, we may start rallying back up towards the all-time high. Might even take as long as August or September. Here's the good thing. These movements are taking a lot longer. You notice that? These corrections on Bitcoin right now are lasting 8 months, whereas before in previous bull markets, they would last 2 or 3. For example, back here in 2017, major corrections where Bitcoin would drop 40% would last 15 days. Nowadays, a correction that drops us down 30% lasts 8 months. When we tell you that the 4-year cycle seems to be going out the window, that's kind of what we mean. When you look at the sheer scale of this market, the numbers are larger, but also the time frame is larger. Bitcoin going through just 3 major pullbacks in this market here, and here has all taken over 2 years. In the 2016-17 bull market, Bitcoin would often go through 3 major pullbacks in less than 200 days, let alone 2 years. This means that it's very possible that the all-time high for this bull market kicks way further out into the future than it otherwise would have. Remember, last bull market, the 2021 bull market, was stunted because of everything the Fed was doing to manipulate the economy. The quantitative easing, the $5 trillion of money printing that occurred in 2020 and 2021 after the COVID-19 pandemic caused Bitcoin to rally straight to $65,000, left a massive gap, and the bear market came prematurely. That bull market probably should have lasted another 200 to 300 days, and it probably would have if we hadn't have blown everything all at once at the very beginning. The entire bull market happened like that instead of gradually taking its time. This is a bull market that's probably not going to last 400 or 500 days. It might last 1,000 or 1,200. We may end up seeing the all-time high for this bull market now taking place in 2026 because things are just taking their time. That's good for us because it's a lesson in patience, and it's also good for us because it gives us more time to acquire at these levels. So we're looking at June, July, August when Bitcoin gets back up towards all-time high. That seems like a long time from now, but that gives us months to acquire Bitcoin at these levels and prepare, because when the market goes back up there, we're going to be able to more than double our positions because Bitcoin's probably going to hit $150,000 based on the price targets that we are drawing. You see, it's incredibly important that we understand these long-term market characteristics, and that is why over the last 7 years, we've been building something called the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. If you're not familiar with CT2A, this is the academy that I personally launched in 2018, a long time ago, that has taught over 5,000 students how to become proficient in technical analysis, and you can get it right now for $147 a year with the link in the description box down below. See, the amazing thing about CT2A is that we've got over 50 videos and over 12 hours of content in here teaching you everything that you need to know to understand how the cryptocurrency market operates. I want you to understand exactly how to do technical analysis, and I'm going to show you how to do it in this course. There's a reason that over 5,000 people have gone through CT2A over the course of the last many years. Almost a decade it's been around now, and I want to teach you how to do technical analysis on these markets and understand where the market is going the same way that you saw in this video. So if you haven't already, make sure to sign up for the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. Join our over 5,000 students learning every day how to succeed in the cryptocurrency markets. You can find that with the link in the description box down below. If you want to learn how to actually manage wealth and build wealth and maintain it and turn it into joy, you can also check out our very own Financial Sovereignty Academy. That's also abbreviated as FSA. It's $104 a year, and we've got over 3 hours of content and growing over there, teaching you exactly how to manage your wealth so that you can live a prosperous life and be generous to those around you, which is exactly what you're in crypto for. If you want to learn more about how to succeed in crypto and with money, then make sure to check out the Financial Sovereignty Academy and the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy with the links in the description box down below. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
I got a real good feeling.